Hey guys, I'm Kyle EILERMAN, and this is Fan Theory, the show where we do trailer reactions, movie and TV show commentary, and movie reviews. Today, we are getting real pumped because I just came out from seeing Halloween Kills. Thanks to Greg Alba and John Humphrey of The Real Rejects, who invited me to the screening just a little bit early, and I was able to put together this beautiful review for you. So let's get to it, shall we? I just want to start off by saying that I used to hate scary movies. Scream was what brought me into it, and I definitely was afraid of Halloween growing up. However, as of late, I have discovered that I love Halloween. I love the lore behind Halloween, and I even consider Halloween one of the better written slasher movies outside of maybe Scream. So, with that being said, I really was excited when they brought this franchise back to life with Laurie Strode the way that it should have always been. And it made me really get more invested in the mythos of everything. And I like that with the last movie, they rebranded and relaunched the franchise and ignored everything past the first film. And that even includes Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2. That all being said, I saw the first movie, didn't think the dialogue was the greatest. Some of the pacing was a little weird. Some of the scenes were unnecessary. And some of the characters just were there as fodder and nothing else. But I still loved the movie. Did I love it as much as the original Halloween? Not so much, but I did definitely love it a lot more than most of the others in the franchise. I do not include H2O in that mix, mostly because I didn't really see it that well, so I'm going to have to watch it. But I'm sure I'll love it, possibly even more, we'll see. That being said, I went into seeing Halloween Kills so beyond excited. And right off the bat, they gave us a very different introduction than I was expecting with the title cards. And you'll find out when you see them because I'm going to give you a fully spoiler-free review today. This movie does, of course, take off from where the last one ended, but it also gets convoluted and gives us several harsh cuts between different storylines that take place in Haddonfield. That connect with Michael, of course, and that all just felt very disconnected for me, but I also really appreciate it because it gave me some insight into stuff that I had questions on in the first film.
The more he kills, the more he transcends.
And so that was really great. The next thing I wanted to point out that I took issues with was there were a few characters that were added to this mix that didn't really need to be there, and honestly even kind of took away from the realism of what was going on in the story. And so for that, it's weird that they almost became like a B story in this, and I didn't like that. That being said, they did bring back some characters from the original films, mostly the original film, and it was really freaking cool to get a reunion with all of those characters. I really loved that. Especially one of the characters was a child in the original and now is grown up. That individual person, I really, really enjoyed seeing them on screen, and I hope that I see more acting from this person in the future. All that being said, there's not a lot of story going on in this movie, unlike the first film. It is pretty much just this is happening, and it's one drawn out long scene of a lot of violence and gore to the nth degree. And I'm not going to give any major details, but just you need to know that this movie is gory. They don't shy away from it at all. They really lean into the death count. Some of the kills feel a little bit generic, while others feel unique and different than I've ever seen in a slasher film. I really don't care for the main core cast of this. And by that, I'm not talking about our three that we left off with in the last film. I'm mostly talking about the townsfolk as a whole. There is a lot of characters in this that you just don't care about. And so when they die, it really doesn't upset you. In fact, a lot of the kills in this movie almost felt comedic at times. And so, unlike the first film where there was fear, the introduction of really focusing on a lot of these townsfolk people, while it was fun to see a lot of the backstory and the almost like tribute and homage or whatever to the original films, it didn't add anything to the film. It took more away than it added. And for that, I'm looking forward to the last one, which would be Halloween Ends. But it was nowhere near what I expected in terms of certain characters' roles in this. It felt like we got sidelined from the story in some regards. And it also felt like we didn't get a whole lot of new information here other than at the beginning of the movie. So there are multiple characters and there's multiple things to this. And some of it is really cool that they included. But I think when they get to the third film, I'm hoping that they actually try to not pay tribute or homage to the original and just go in a new direction on their own this time. Because both of these films have done that so far, but the second one really does it, and it does it too much, I would say. There's a few other things that I found annoying and unfortunate, and they were fun, but I wasn't invested as much in some of the characters, even some of the original characters that still are around, some of which you may not know actually survived the first film. Even some of them I took issue with. And I wish I hadn't. If there's growth in the first film, there's a little bit of regression in the second, and I wish it weren't there. The last little note I'd say about all of it is on a positive side, and I like what they've done with a lot of the film, but it is definitely more gory while still not anywhere near as scary as the first film was. And also, there is way less story in this one than there was in the 2018 movie. As far as fan theories go, I had a lot of them during watching the film. But the one thing I can definitely believe is going to happen is in the final chapter, they will kill off Michael Myers. And I mean fully kill him off, dead, dead, dead. And it will fully be a conclusion and a finale of this current run of franchise with Laurie Strode. Do I think that Michael will be dead for good in the long run? No, because he's an iconic character that Universal will never let go of. So I do think there will be a future reboot or possibly prequels. I genuinely think that that is a high possibility. And if they even want to take it a step further, they might even consider doing another soft reboot like what they did with the 2018 version. And instead of including the characters from the first two original films, they might include characters from the fourth and fifth film. I don't exactly think they'll do a soft reboot of Halloween 3, and I don't think they'll do a soft reboot of anything after 4 and 5. But I do know Michael will be dead for a long time at least, and anything associated with Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode, Michael will be dead for good as of the final film. Yeah, that doesn't spoil anything, and it gives you guys a good impression of everything. But overall, if I had to sum up this film, way more gory, way more kills, way less story, way less scary, way funnier, and way more predictable. So I would rank it lower than Halloween 2018, but it's not the worst Halloween film there is. Anyway, this has been my fan theory. What's yours?
Hey guys, it's Kyle from Fan Theory Network. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell to stay notified, or watch more right there. I just want to thank all of you patrons who have supported us over at our Patreon, with that link right there. You know, you can also support us by checking out our merch store. It's true. All you got to do is click right there on the shelf below or in the description. Yay! It's so easy.